Well, hello YouTube channel, it's Belmont here. And I know it's been a while since my last upload, and I've just been busy working on the book and doing me. But here, just messing around with some of my favorite locks. Good old Master Lock number 5, my disc lock, and my Brinks, and some of my preferred picks: City Rake or L Rake, the Clom copy of a Peterson worm, and of course this little punched out jiggler pin tumbler pick that's all part of the Clom 30-piece set that I have here, and a couple of my preferred tension wrenches for these locks. This one works really well on this bad boy and him. Although this was the first one I started using on this big old hunkin' master padlock. And started off with these, then worked my way with the City Rake, and then the rest of my picks. I have worked through all the picks I own: the Yeehong, the Southford, the Sparrow's Tools, and I also gained the insight into single pin picking, which I didn't bother with counting the pins out loud like many of the YouTube channels. I just instinctively felt. Now, right now we're dealing with a coronavirus, which is also came from SARS, and a lot of people want to suppress the information, others don't. This is pretty much still just a virus, just like the flu, just like H1N1, the swine flu, the bird flu. There's going to be a lot of misinformation out there. And as long as all of us don't try and literally empty the shelves when we go to the store, we will make it through things. And people will be wiser for it. Now, my wisdom has also gained me knowledge and experience in dealing with people, places, and things. Such places as sparrows. See, I contacted them on a polite inquiry and commented about some of their products. How I was interested in a few items, if they would be willing to send anything to review. The response from A/R person named Michael, who I can only assume is the person who runs Sparrows, said they do not do giveaways or give things to anyone to review free products. And that triggered my bullshit detector and the outright lies, considering that, Bosnian shill Bill was getting free products from Sparrows all the time, and any time he spoke about Sparrows, he just kept getting more and more. Now, I also commented to Sparrows that about their bump keys, specifically the Westlock WK2 6-pin and their Sargent L1010N. They just don't exist. And I also commented that anytime Bosnian Bill mentions Sparrows, he gets more and more products, and that he also received free picks for the lock sport community that were given to him by Sparrows. I also commented to Sparrows on their elevator keys regarding the fact that the keys they're selling are not going to fit every single elevator in every single state in the United States or Canada, since every company that services them is quite different. They were dismissive at best and sent a short response and then tried to blame their short message on the fact they were short-staffed, using the coronavirus as an excuse, which personally I have to say that's very sloppy, that's very misleading and outright lying. Smart lock sporters on YouTube, even apprentices or beginners or people just learning, those who've seen my channel also know the truth that Bosnian Bill is a shill. He gets free shit. He is paid to endorse. I also commented about the disc detainer pick that both lockpicking lawyer and Bosnian shill Bill made, supposedly gave the design to Sparrows, and they have two prototypes that are in working order for each of them, black with red lines and a matte silver gray with black lines for LPL. And Sparrows has not put that disc detainer pick into production, at least publicly. I mentioned Locknoob and the fact that he gets free shit. But, you know what, let's face facts here. It's really a game for them. You have to kiss up to them, you have to suck their dicks. You have to be supporting them with every step you take and every breath you make. And yet at the same time on YouTube, you have a fly-by-night company called Subtle Digs who is making some ass backwards looking lockpicks in as big as 30 thousandths of an inch, which is not going to fit into any small keyway. In fact, it would probably barely fit into a master padlock. They show that they have Bogota style picks, but they don't produce any top of the keyway tensioners. Their so-called largest set they want $60 for, which they include a few practice padlocks or practice locks. Nor do they give the name of who owns the company. They try to do things entirely Kickstarter way, which means they don't have any real contact information. If you donate to them, then they'll send you some free shit, depending on how much you donate, because it's all about money. It's not about helping the lock sport community. Also, looking on Wikipedia regarding locksmithing, and lock sport, I found it interesting that some of the guidelines say that they are honorable and respectable, which I just found to be a load of horse shit. And if anyone doesn't wish to take my word for it, do kindly go on to Wikipedia, type in locksmithing, and then go all the way down to the bottom, and it will actually refer you to lock sport. And you will see exactly what I read, because I have not found anything truly respectful about the majority of the lock sport community. If you disagree with something about what their god, the apparently oh so great Bosnian shill Bill, that they will try and go out of their way to block you from commenting on their channel because you've offended them, which is also just another crock of shit. These small YouTube channels who clearly say one thing and do another also contradict themselves. And that is going from the ones who are the few hundred subscribers to 1,000.25 and on up. You've got channels like Helpful Lockpicker, better known as Douglas Sears, who says, donate to your hospital during this time, all the while when hospitals don't really have any way of treating the coronavirus. But people are still taking stuff from the hospital. But he suggests we donate simply because he's a nurse, and he's supposedly on the forefront of the fight. If he's a nurse, then I would rather get help from Dr. Kevorkian, because at least he was a qualified medical doctor. I noticed that there was also a lot of lock picking companies out there who are also going out of business. Mad Bob's is one of them. Mad Bob's is no longer in business. Many others are going under. So I also see subtle digging itself into a grave in oblivion, simply because they don't really tell who they are. They have no contact information. They want you to donate to them on a Kickstarter program, which means you could just end up getting a very shitty quality set of pics, much like Jimmy Boy of Locksmith Army, who clearly bullshitted his way and tried to hammer out pics at $8 a pop and failed in sitting on a pile of them now. I'm currently having trouble getting a Wi-Fi signal, so I don't know when this will be properly uploaded, but I will upload it. And hopefully you will be seeing some new tools on the channel very soon, in the next coming weeks, or possibly even April. I hope to have a set of Huck 7-pin ace picks, or better known as the tubular lock picks, that came out of China and no coronavirus attached to it. I also want to just touch briefly on this coronavirus that came out of China. I read the Wikipedia. The Chinese doctor who first tried to give notice to it to the public was outed first by the police in China, in his area, and he was given a citation as a warning to stop. So clearly any government officials in China, such as the police, wanted to suppress any information about any kind of virus or people dying, which coincidentally the doctor also died. The police admonished the original citation against him and offered a formal public apology to his family for what little good that did. It is said that the flu or the virus originated around a seafood market. There are other thoughts that it occurred because of a bat. And of course, there is the other thought of it was cooked up in a laboratory and somehow it got loose, a biohazard contagion, much like Resident Evil. What we do know is it comes from SARS, an offshoot of it, that involves a severe respiratory infection. So folks out there, just first off, there is no cure for it at the moment. So concentrate on maintaining basic cleanliness and good hygiene. Wash your hands with hot soap and water for at least 40 seconds each time you go to the bathroom to urinate or defecate. Wash your hands. Wipe just Maintain proper cleanliness. Use good common sense, because that's really what it's all about. And if everyone out there will use good common sense, we won't have a panic, we won't have a pandemic, we won't have deaths, nor will we have any accidental killing of people who might end up trying to loot or riot or panic and just go all out like it's The Walking Dead. So, from here in Pennsylvania, this is Belmont signing off. Keep listening and stay tuned.